My name is Marcus Galante. I'm from New York City. I've worked all over the world, and I'm in Bulgaria for the 4th time, and I will be back for a 5th time in April. So, hello, Bulgaria.
So, this is your 4th time in Bulgaria?
Yes, this is my 4th time in Bulgaria.
How do you like Bulgaria? How do you like working in this program?
Well, I like Petr Iliev. He's a really great guy, and he's worked really hard to pick the levels up in Bulgaria of the dance scene, and I like coming and trying to teach them things they've never done or seen before, and work really hard at it.
What is necessary for a young dancer to succeed, to become a successful dancer?
Passion, dedication, extremely hard work, and a great deal of focus on what they want to do.
If you should make a comparison between Bulgarian dancers and US dancers, what are the positive and the negative sides?
Well, they're not as focused. They don't work as hard. They're not as disciplined, and they don't come regularly as they should. They come and go when they please, and that's not acceptable. Especially when you have international guest artists coming with a great deal of knowledge and experience to try to teach them something, and then they don't come, or they don't work as hard, or they don't feel like doing something. It doesn't work like that, you know.
And
they're losing the opportunity to learn, and then it tells me they're not really that interested in working professionally.
And something you like about them?
Oh, something I like about them? Well, after a few days, they seem to get a little better. So when they get less afraid, I guess, but they seem to get into it more and enjoy it a little more, especially when you let them know you're not going to stand for any of their nonsense.
Could you tell something interesting in your career? Maybe something from Broadway, something funny you would always remember.
Well, I don't know. I have a lot of memories. You know, things happen. You know, it's hard to be in a Broadway show. It's hard to be in a ballet company. I'll say something about a ballet company once. And I danced in South Africa for a year, the National Ballet there, and we were doing a ballet by Frederick Ashton. And it was called Les Patineurs, which means the skaters. And it's a great ballet, very hard. And I was in the first cast, but I hurt my foot, and I missed a performance. So I begged the director to let me do an extra performance, which I did. And as I was dancing in the ballet, I was used to seeing a boy in front of me that I was always dancing with, but there was some different face. And I stopped to go across the stage, and I froze because I couldn't remember what to do, seeing a different face. So we kind of just walked towards each other, and I said, "Which way do I go?" It was awful, but somehow you get through the ballet. And that was quite funny. I think people laughed at that because you suddenly know what you're doing, and you see the wrong face there, and you go blank. So that was kind of a funny experience.
But do the audience accept it as something on purpose?
Well, you know, they might notice it, but as a professional dancer, you try to cover everything, so you get stuck and you kind of stop for a minute, and then you pick it up, and if you do something wrong, as I tell them, just keep going, because maybe they won't know that you did something wrong.
So is this what you're going to advise all the dancers, all the young dancers, to keep going no matter what happens?
If you make a mistake, you have to keep going no matter what happens. You can't stop. You can't walk off the stage. You can't just stand there and stare at the audience. You've got to do something. So better to make up something and instead of walking away. You know, it's worse.
And in general?
In general, keep working hard and don't be very focused on what you're going to do. Pay attention to the teacher, do what they say, and then when you're sitting around and outside, practice more. Practice, practice, practice. Don't just sit around and forget what you just did. That's a bad problem.